I've thought about a fourth manufacturer entering NASCAR for a while. I've been hoping maybe it'd be, Nissan coming in. I don't know why, just I've heard rumors about that. But I did not think that on a random day in May, a few days before the All-Star race, that Mike Wallace, of all credible sources, would drop one of the weirdest rumors I think I've ever seen. But I won't lie, this rumor got me really excited, and that's why I'm making a video on it, because I kind of want to talk it into existence somehow. Like, somehow, just people at Honda right now are just like, hey, this rumor sounds pretty good. It looks like people are happy about it. Let's go do it. Let's spend billions of dollars into it. Yeah, it's not going to happen. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this rumor involving Honda, IndyCar, Andretti, and Richard Petty Motorsports, and all this stuff that's going on, and it was definitely odd. And yes, I said Mike Wallace was the guy that started it. He didn't drop it on Twitter or some Bleacher Report article or Forbes or whatever other breaking news website you want to do. Didn't drop it on Instagram, didn't drop it on Reddit where rumors always live. No, he dropped it on Facebook. No one uses Facebook to drop these kind of things anymore. Petty Andretti Motorsports coming to NASCAR with Honda cars and funding. Not a much better way for Honda Motor Co. to enter NASCAR with two iconic names to be the spokesperson for their team, Richard Petty and Mario Andretti. Michael Andretti is the best positioned team outside of NASCAR to bring Honda into stock car racing, and with former NASCAR crew chief and NASCAR exec Robin Pemberton already employed at Andretti, sounds like it's all done but the announcement. A few things here. If we're gonna break a source, breaking news, whatever, we gotta get the grammar right. We have periods here where there shouldn't be periods. We gotta replace some of those periods with commas. We got capitalization at the complete wrong area. We're using the wrong twos sometimes, and we're not really getting the grammar part. If we gotta break this breaking news, we gotta get the grammar right in that paragraph. But in all seriousness, this almost sounds too good to be true. That's what I first thought, and I just really wanted to talk it into existence. And the more I thought about it, I was like, there's no way a manufacturer entering NASCAR just comes out of the blue and just says, oh yeah, it's ready, it's done. Oh yeah, and by the way, Andretti's coming. Oh yeah, it's all ready. As much as I want it to be true, this one's a weird one. But it had some steam, and some people thought it was real, including myself. I was like, hey, maybe there's something to it. This random rumor, Mike Wallace is not a nobody. I mean, he's related to Steven and Rusty and Kenny. I mean, we all got the whole Wallace family out here. They gotta know something. But Jennifer, I turned it down real quick. Regarding the many rumors on the future of Richard Petty Motorsports, I have chased down the bizarre one involving a merger with Honda and an IndyCar team. And follow Andretti says this rumor is not true. There have been rumors about the RPM since the offseason. They need money. That's not a secret. RPM shows up every week. It's a lean, understaffed, and underfunded team. It's probably very frustrating for everyone, including Bubba. I believe that financial reality feed these rumors. I also believe it is in NASCAR's interest for the 43 to race every week. And also, Bob Pockris denied it as well. He spoke to a Petty exec and then tweeted that the Petty exec told him that the rumor is not true and that Honda is remaining focused on IndyCar and the Acura sports car programs. And that was pretty much that for that rumor, but it would actually be really nice to see Honda enter NASCAR. Do I think it will ever happen? No. I don't think Honda's entering NASCAR anytime soon or anytime in the future. Long term, short term, no. I do want the fourth manufacturer. A few years ago, there were rumors about Dodge, and those had a lot more heavy steam and a lot more reliable sources, not just a rumor out of nowhere. And it would have been nice to have Dodge come back, but I don't think that's obviously happening anymore, and it would have been the perfect time in 2021 for that fourth manufacturer. So I think NASCAR's been chasing hard for a fourth manufacturer because OEMs drive the sport, but I don't know if they're gonna get one. I've heard those rumors about Nissan out of all people coming in. Really, here's the thing, I don't care who comes in, to be fair. I just want another manufacturer. The more parity, the better. They all bring the money, as you guys know. More manufacturers in NASCAR, the better. And if that can happen somehow, I don't know who comes in, but hey, NASCAR got Toyota to come in almost a decade ago. Yeah, these rumors were pretty funny. Now I want to talk about RPM and Richard Petty Motorsports. I believe that they are shutting down at the end of the season. I don't think they're shutting down completely. I think they might go part-time. I can't envision Richard Petty just kind of closing everything up. We all know they're underfunded and need a lot of money. And it's odd because, as people have pointed out, Bubba Wallace is incredibly marketable. You have also the teams owned by Richard Petty, the king of NASCAR. It's very odd that sponsorship doesn't come as frequent as I feel like it should with that team. The performance is clearly terrible, and that needs to be worked on. I just don't see it completely shutting down. I see it maybe going to part-time, and then if someone can come in and revitalize the team, that would be great. That's what I currently think about Richard Petty Motorsports, and I hope they get the funding needed because they desperately need it. And I hope they are able to compete in the future, but at this very moment, you just kind of have to be like, well, get on the track, try to run better than 25th or 20th and just hope all for the best. And that's the main thing I wanted to talk about, was Richard Petty and this rumor that really came out. But now that I'm currently in the video, I also want to talk about a few other things that's been going on. And there's been this talk among the community that Chevy is returning, and I agree. Well, not Chevy in particular. I mean, Kyle Larson, let's just go back like a year or two. Kyle Larson was doing very well. Kyle Larson's not had the best season so far right now. But now Kurt Busch in that one car is running better than what Jamie McMurray was doing in that. I don't think that's really a Chevy thing. I think that's just a better driver entering the one car. So Kurt Busch enters and they run a little bit better. Larson has had a little bit of a slump. So Ganassi's kind of like, they're better in one side. They're kind of iffy on the other with Larson. They haven't had a race-winning speed yet, but the big difference with Chevy obviously comes with Hendrick Motorsport. As you guys know, I'm a Hendrick Motorsports fan. I've been a follower of Hendrick Motorsports for a while. Even if my fandom has dipped down a little bit, I still really want Hendrick Motorsports, which I believe is the powerhouse of NASCAR, the most well-run organization, the organization with the most heart, the most belief. Obviously, everything that happened with the organization over a decade ago now. They're just set up to be that dominant powerhouse, good story, Chevy powerful team, you know? And the last few years, especially Gordon's last year in 2015, yes, Jimmie won the championship in 2016, but from 2015 on, and even 2014 to an extent, it hasn't been Hendrick Motorsports quality. Now, Hendrick Motorsports quality is, well, we don't want to win the championship 5 years in a row with one driver, but it was not just Jimmie Johnson performing in those 5 years. There was 1 year in 2009 where they finished top 3 in the standings. 2007, it was Jimmie versus Jeff. Kyle Busch was there. He was competitive in that 5 car. Mark Martin was there. He was competitive there. Dale Earnhardt Jr. took a while, and it kind of had 1 or 2 good seasons, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. really struggled, and Casey Kane struggled as well. But Hendrick have never had a moment where all 4 drivers are just struggling, and that's what they've been for, I would say, the last 3 years, with Chase Elliott being the guy that is the one to at least show something. They haven't had race-winning cars often enough in terms of Hendrick Motorsports quality until the last few weeks. I'm a disregard Talladega. So Chase Elliott, yes, he wins Talladega, and Alex Bowman finished second. I think Talladega is kind of a lottery, weird kind of thing. I mean, we just saw last year SHR was the 4 fastest cars on the planet, and then, you know, this year they're not. I'm mostly talking about Kansas and Dover. And so what I'm seeing right now is Alex Bowman, specifically in that 88 car, has improved. I'm seeing William Byron in the top 10 more often. And I'm not talking about finishing positions. I'm talking about running positions. When you're watching a race, how fast does the car look like? To be honest, I don't really care where they finish at this point because they need speed. If the speed comes, the finishes come. It's not that complicated. And I've been seeing improvement through there. And Chase Elliott is now leading races. And Alex Bowman is now leading races. And Alex Bowman's finished second 3 times. So there's a definite difference in Chevy. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's under the engine. I don't know if it's aero or whatever. But they found something. They found something with the package. It's not just with the 2019 mile-and-a-half package. It's also with the high downforce package, where Hendrick Motorsports really struggled in 2015 with. They seem to have found something, because at Dover, Bowman and Elliott were really good with a high downforce, high horsepower package. If they go to a road course and they're good there with a few good cars, then I actually think Hendrick might be back in the game, and Chevy might be back in the game, because now Chevy, if they can get, let's say, Bowman and Elliott for now, 2 competitive cars. I'll talk about Jimmie Johnson in a second because he really frustrates me. And William Byron still learns. But then we get Chip Ganassi Racing. You have 2 competitive cars there. And then they try to boost RCR a little bit as the years go on. Maybe we have Chevy coming back a little bit. It's the start of a regrowth, basically, with Chevy. It's the start of trying to get back to where they were. And that's not just Hendrick. RCR has been worse than they were a decade ago, so has Hendrick. Chip Ganassi is the one true team that I think has probably improved over the years. And I think Chevy with the Camaro, when they introduced it last year, they had to play catch up a lot, and maybe they made a few mistakes here or there. And again, everyone's going to have a reset basically in 2021, so it's not going to be like this is the end all of the Camaro's design. I mean, it's probably going to change when 2021 comes around, and then it'll be, again, a fresh field, and maybe, you never know, maybe Ford becomes the outright dominant team, or Toyota continues their dominance, or their Chevy comes back, but NASCAR is looking for parity. I want to talk about Jimmie Johnson. I truly believe Jimmie Johnson, I'm getting to the point where if he doesn't compete and run well, I don't care where he finishes, because he runs 15th every week. If he ends up finishing 6th somehow, like he did this past week, I don't really care. He ran 14th to 17th the entire race, and maybe 12th. So I don't care if he finishes 6th, because it's not good enough. You can run 14th every week, and you're not going to finish 6th every week. You're probably going to finish around 14th. So if this continues until the playoffs start, and then the playoffs go through, and he's still not up to par with not even with the teammates, but if he's not running top 10 consistently, maybe getting top 5s here or there. If that's not happening, I'm entering the camp of I think he might want to think about leaving. I know his contract ends in 2020. I know it's very risky to say Jimmie Johnson should leave Hendrick Motorsports, where he's won 7 championships and spent his entire career. It's like, can you imagine Jeff Gordon leaving Hendrick Motorsports? No. So I would never see that, and, you know, Gordon stayed his entire career, and I also think Gordon had the lifetime contract. Jimmie Johnson does not have the lifetime contract, I think. He runs till 2020, so does Ally sponsorship, I think, as well. And I just think it might, if he wants to give it one last shot, I'm pretty sure a top team like Penske, or if let's say Penske wanted to open a 4th team, which I don't think would happen, but if let's say they don't want to open a 4th team, or JGR wants to replace one of their drivers, or SHR wants to replace someone, you're telling me they would turn down Jimmie Johnson if Jimmie Johnson came with sponsorship and had and said, I want to join your team? I don't think they'd probably turn him down, because we've changed crew chiefs now, and people have said, oh, it's Kevin Mandering, or whatever his name is. I don't really know him that much, but, you know, people are saying it's the crew chief's fault. Well, we gotta go back to Chad Canals. It wasn't working with Chad Canals. You know, they tried for a few years there to get Chad Canals and Jimmie to get their spark back. It wasn't happening. So they changed crew chief, still not happening. Could change crew chiefs again. It still probably won't happen. That 48 team, there's something just fundamentally wrong with it right now. I can't tell if it's the driver losing a little bit of his stuff. To be fair, with the package we have now, it's easier to drive. So Jimmie Johnson should kind of be leveled with a lot of other people. So when he's that much slower than everyone else, you can tell it's not the driver, it's the car. So that's why I think Jimmie Johnson still has more potential in him. Yes, I think Jimmie likes a low downforce, loose race car. Are these cars like that right now? No. Jimmie likes a very, very difficult car to drive. That's what Jimmie likes. So it may be hurting him a little bit, but I don't know. I think sometimes it might be better to leave. And I know that's very, very risky to say, and it could cause debate, but I think, I'm starting to believe, Jimmie Johnson should leave Hendrick Motorsports. And that really pains me to say, because you guys know how much I like Hendrick, and I like Jimmie as well. But when it's not working, it's just not working. It's like saying Joey Logano should have just stuck it out at Joe Gibbs when he was really young. He should have just stayed there his entire career and just wait for it to work. It wasn't working, so he left. He went to Penske. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes people just need to leave. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Those are the 2 main things. Chevy, or 3 main things. Chevy, Jimmie, and obviously the RPM rumor. That's just really weird. Comment down below with anything that you guys want to say about all those rumors. All-Star Race is Saturday night. I think it's going to be a really good one. I was kind of disappointed to see the temperatures being a little bit warm. They're going to be in the low 80s on Saturday night, but this is the night racing cool temps is the new good thing. It actually used to be bad when you had a night race with cool temps at 1.5 miles, but with this package, night racing and cool temps, that's good. Also, they've changed the car a little bit. They adjusted where the aero ducts, basically, they're coming out of the hood now, or something like that. Similar to the X3, where they wanted to reduce engine temps, and that's what they're doing. And I think they're using a different splitter as well. I haven't seen the splitter, but from what I've heard, it's similar to the X3 splitter. I don't think it has that little indent in the middle, but I don't know. I have to wait to see it on track to actually see what it is. But it seems like they've taken some of that studies from the X3 car, and they're trying to implement it in different ways into the All-Star Race. And they're going to test it for Gen 7. So we'll see how that goes. And it should be fun. So I'll see you guys later. Hope you have a great day. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Go check out what's on the channel. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button. I'll see you guys later. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you're not already, at RealRadman. And peace out. I can't change. Even if I tried, even if I wanted to, and I can't change. Even if I tried, my love, she keeps me warm.